What was it?
You look tan.
It's not easy being so tan all the time.
Well, we're back here. It is Monday, February 6th, 8:01 Central Time, 9:01 if you're fucking Jackson on the East Coast. I'm over here.
Dude, it's 6 a.m. in California right now.
Yeah, I've been awake since 6, bro. I could not sleep tonight because of my wrist.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I woke up and my wrist was throbbing, and I was just laying there since like 5:30.
Yeah. Need like a shot of whiskey and like 4 Advil.
Well, I got up and walked into my living room and grabbed my ibuprofen and ate 250 milligram ibuprofens. And I have like this BioFreeze, like cool the pain away.
Oh, Shaq? Is that the Shaq brand?
I think so, right? The BioFreeze shit.
I think it is.
I think it is. I don't know if he's still sponsored, but
Icy Hot.
Icy Hot, you're right. Yeah, Icy Hot. But I've been putting that shit on.
Nice.
I don't think it's broken because it hasn't turned purple. Or do they turn purple when your wrist breaks? When you said you broke yours, did yours turn purple?
I don't believe I had much swelling at all. I thought I broke my finger like a year ago and it turned super purple and it was just a bad jam. So I don't know about the stock of purpleness.
Like I can move it, and I kept playing basketball for 15 minutes after the injury occurred. And I don't think if like I was shooting and grabbing boards. And
I did the same thing. Your injury. I hope it's not broken, but your injury sounds the exact same.
I don't know if I should go to the doc today. I probably should. I think I either have like a really bad sprain because, like, dude, I went up. So my friend like broke away and he was gonna get an easy dunk, and me being hyper competitive ran full speed and fouled the shit out of him. And when I went to foul him, I flipped 90 degrees in the air, and I had to jump pretty high because he was going for a dunk. And so I flipped 90 degrees on the air, and I turned sideways, and I land on my elbow and my wrist, and I'm playing on an outdoor court. Like it was concrete.
February.
Yeah, it was a 40-degree day, so it was warm out.
Yeah, that's a nice day.
Yeah,
I think this might be your karmic retribution as for being a Dylan Brooks type of basketball player. I told you your time's probably coming.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. It was probably my girlfriend actually bitched me out and told me that I got to stop playing so aggressive.
Well, I agree with the aggressiveness. And then like a month ago, you hop on the show and you're like, yeah, I don't give room for closeouts. And it's like,
yeah, fuck closeouts, bro.
Basketball.
All right, let's get into the good stuff today. But yeah, no, I'll either go today or tomorrow to the doc. I might go today to skip class.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Just say, fucked up the wrist, send them the doctor's note.
Yeah. And
just be like, sorry, guys.
Well, because you got to keep in mind, trade deadline day is what? Is it?
It's on Thursday.
You got to be ready to go.
I'm working that day. Yeah. But I know, but that means my work is at 2 p.m. The deadline is at 3 p.m., which means rarely do the big trades happen in the last hour. It means between noon and 1, I'm going to just fucking be making videos for like an hour and a half. And then on my way to work, probably, and during my first hour of work, some trades will break.
Yeah.
So I'll just go into the sound booth to record at work because we have like editing bays.
Nice.
So I'll just go into editing bay, which is a soundproof room, and like,
oh, dude, I'd kill for one of those.
But let's talk about the big old deal that happened. You know, I love how Markieff Morris was just thrown in there.
He's the real winner of this trade.
Markieff Morris about to get some more playing time, maybe. Yeah. But Spencer Dinwiddie, dude. My boy sent me a video of me from 2015 of 2K16, and I trade Aaron Aflalo and I'll play as the Knicks. Aaron Aflalo and I forget who else for Spencer Dinwiddie and Jody Meeks.
Jody Meeks,
wow. Yeah, and Spencer Dinwiddie was 22 years old and like a 65.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Aaron Aflalo was a.
Oh, dude, Aaron Aflalo last night we were talking about Aaron Aflalo for like 15 minutes, Luke and I. Aaron Aflalo had a run from like 2012 to 2016 where he was like
Yeah,
double
he's a
digit.
good player.
Yeah, people forgot. But what is your initial thoughts about this deal? We'll talk about the other deals that they got from the Clippers, the Suns, and what was the other team? Clippers, Suns, Lakers. So what's your initial thoughts? Who I say both teams won. The Brooklyn Nets have now 3 first-round picks. They got 2 win-now players. They have a point guard, and they got themselves a pretty good defensive wing, which could replace your favorite player of all time, Royce O'Neal.
No. Anyway, no comment. I think, I agree with you. I think both teams won the trade. I don't think there was really a winner. I don't think there was a loser. I think if there's a winner, it's actually the Houston Rockets. But
you're such a stupid. Oh my god!
At the same time, we talked about it all year. I'm shocked Kyrie demanded a trade or requested a trade this early on because the Brooklyn Nets are a good basketball team. But I can understand why the Nets don't want to bring him back, which I think they wanted to. But I can definitely understand why Kyrie doesn't want to go back to the Brooklyn Nets. Joe Tsai's a horrible owner. Sean Marks is a below average.
Hey, Joe Tsai. No one talks about Joe Tsai funding concentration camps in China against Muslims.
He's a horrible owner. He's such a nerd. But I think this is like the perfect storm because Dallas needed something desperately, and those two guys are good basketball players, but Dallas it's so interesting. I think if there has to be a winner of this trade, I would probably agree with you. It's the Brooklyn Nets because Dorian's on a phenomenal contract. Spencer Dinwiddie's got a couple of years left. And now you're right. We got another first-round pick. Yeah, it's 7 years or 6 years from now, but we can
use
that.
Which is good.
Yeah, we can use that as leverage. And you're right. Yeah, Dallas, that probably won't be – Luka's probably gone. So – the issue I have with the Mavericks is you could have done this. You could have just re-signed Jalen Brunson and used the remaining money to find more complementary players who are going to help you get to the championship. So it's weird.
The one thing that I say is weird about this is a report came out yesterday night from Mark Stein of the Stein Line. Also, check out #ThisLeague Uncut with Mark Stein and Crispy Haynes. One of my favorite
athletic pod. Are they athletic?
No, iHeartMedia. And yeah, it's actually really good. They had Malik Beasley on their bonus pod on Friday it was good. But what Mark Stein came out on and reported was that the Dallas Mavericks have not offered Kyrie a contract extension and are fully prepared for Kyrie just to be a rental, which when you think about it, they didn't give much up for a rental. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be a rental. I think they'll keep him. For everyone who's over here, oh my God, you got Kyrie's an on-ball guy. It's not going to work. Well, first off, I'll tell you this. Jalen Brunson's an on-ball guy, and he was able to take turns playing on-ball with Luka. Second, Kyrie played off-ball when James Harden was in Brooklyn because James Harden was actually named point guard by Steve Nash, and Steve Nash made Kyrie the shooting guard. So, with that being said, I do believe that this is a good situation because, look, how else was Dallas going to – who was a better player that was available for Dallas to get? Were you going to give up 3 first-round picks for OG Anunoby?
No.
Who would you rather have, OG or Kyrie?
I want Jalen Brunson 4 months.
Shut the fuck up.
Just pay him. It's very clear now how much of a star Jalen Brunson is.
Think about the fact they could have signed Jalen to a 4-year, $95 million deal a year ago, which they turned down because they said that was too much money for Jalen.
That is the best steal. And Jalen didn't get too much more than that by the Knicks.
You got offered, what, $30 million more?
Oh, in total? The thing is, KD's gone. It might not be this year, but KD's gone. And I don't think Kyrie gets Dallas to the next level at all. But
who do you think's better, Kyrie or Jalen Brunson?
Obviously Kyrie Irving.
But is this team better than last year's team? Or what team's better, the Dallas Mavericks of last year or the Dallas Mavericks right now?
Overpowered, It's just weird because Dallas needs to be doing everything in their organizational power to keep Luka Doncic around. And acquiring a guy like Kyrie Irving, even if Kyrie's impact isn't as good as Jalen Brunson and Jalen has that good of a low-key impact that only Maverick fans really appreciate, then that's what they had to do because Kyrie Irving's a big name, but there's no way they pay this man a max contract. He's so unreliable, and I love Kyrie because he got LeBron James a chip, but he's so unreliable. He's so unreliable. So it's probably good that they did it because if they didn't do a big ass trade like this, Luka, that clock is continuing to tick and he's going to get more upset. But then you can read into the lines and be like, I've heard from a lot of people that Luka had an issue with every other star that's he's been a part of. He had an
I
issue with Kristaps. He had an
I
issue
don't
with
think there was
JB.
a really big issue with JB. Jalen. Well, who's JB? Oh, Jalen Brunson. Yeah, sorry. What? Why did I not realize Jalen Brunson's initials were JB for a second? I was thinking Jalen Brown. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know if that's the 100% the narrative. For me, I think this was a good move, regardless if it's a rental, because what do the Dallas Mavericks show, Luka? That they are willing to do whatever, trade whatever, make
Yeah.
moves, and move assets to make this team better for Luka, which I
They're
think
probably
you
not
need.
done.
They're probably not done,
Yeah.
which, I really think the only other move out there for them to make currently is if they go and trade for like Nerlens Noel or Josef Nurkic or a big guy.
Yeah,
That's
Noel would be nice. I've seen Jay Crowder floated out there too.
I mean, I would do Jay Crowder if you gave me Bismack in that deal.
Ooh, Bismack would be nice for him. What
Yeah.
about what if we got really crazy and you give me DeAndre Ayton instead?
Here's
And we
Davis
just
Bertans and
we
Tim
just go
Hardaway
at it. Yeah,
Jr.
here's Dwight Powell, Davis Bertans, and a first round pick. I
But
think
here,
it's
let's pivot.
a great deal. You want Chris
Let's
Paul too?
we talked about Dallas, and we'll cut back to the whole Dallas thing. But I want to talk about Brooklyn. They said they want to in the next few days. They're expected to be very active and make as many moves as possible to continue to reinforce the roster before the trade deadline around Kevin Durant. Now, they have 3 first-round picks they can trade. Who is a guy that he'd go for? Obviously, I think Josh Hart's a name.
Yeah.
Do you call up the Spurs, try to get Josh Richardson and Doug McDermott from there?
Probably not. Probably not. I
Who you
don't.
look,
I don't. Especially now that I have Dorian.
or do you call up the Jazz, try to get Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley?
I think Jared would be nice. I would actually go a little bit higher than that because I don't. I'm being serious here. The clock is now also ticking for Mr. Kevin Durant. And I preach about it all off season, and no one understands it. There is no reason Kevin Durant was a Brooklyn Net other than the man Kyrie Irving, and now he's gone. Kyrie's gone. Yeah, he got paid, but even more so. All right, I got paid now. To trade me somewhere. So I think they have half a year, and I would trade Ben Simmons because it didn't work out. I would
Wow.
look into
Kevin Durant's less than enthralled with Ben Simmons.
I am too. I would be more than less than enthralled if I was Mr. Kevin Durant. But I would target guys like Kyle Kuzma. I would target guys like John Collins. I think it's time for them to make a big, big ass move.
Yeah, for me, the John Collins deal, I would call up Utah, be like, here's Joe Harris and a first-round pick, send Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt to the Hawks, and the Hawks send the Nets John Collins.
Oh wow! So
You get
what did
that?
Atlanta get in that?
Atlanta
Jared
gets
Vanderbilt and
Malik Beasley and maybe Simone Fontecchio, and they send like John Collins to the Nets, and then they send like the Holiday Bros with Joe Harris to the Utah Jazz with a first-round pick, and the Jazz end up with 1 first-round pick, Holiday Bros and Joe Harris, Malik Beasley and Vanderbilt to the Hawks, and John Collins to the Nets.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not out of the equation.
Just because I know the Nets, I mean not the Nets, the Hawks have the package that the Nets have offered the Hawks for John Collins has been around Joe Harris because that's like the money works that way. But the Hawks have basically said like we're fine trading you John Collins, but find another team to take on Joe Harris and have them send us the assets that they would give up for Joe Harris.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm sure they're less than enthralled with John Collins right now.
Yeah, I just think like if you can build a team in the next week, like this team is still a playoff team right now. I just won't say contention. Obviously, I don't know what it'd look like, so I can't also be 100% like truthful about if this is going to be a good team or not. But what I want to say is the fact that the Nets, if they can go out, add themselves either Gary Trent, Josh Richardson, Doug McDermott, Josh Hart, combination of those players, Terrence Ross, Will Barton, Julie Crowder, like if they can get 3 or 4 more players on this team, I think we all be seeing this team on a whole different light.
Yeah, you still got KD. I think
if KD won the NBA Finals this season, do you think he just picks up the NBA Finals trophy and goes, "Fuck Kyrie Irving"?
No,
you bitch.
I mean, Kevin probably understands it, but I have strong distaste for Joe Tsai and Sean Marks. Like I really do, and I
no.
They feel.
I understand hating Joe Tsai, but Sean Marks is one of the most underrated general managers in the NBA.
What's he got to show for it? What's one thing he has to show for it? He lost James Harden. Oh,
Shut up. He took over this team when they had no first-round picks after Billy King.
And was first-round picks were what is you win.
Guess what? He gave up all his assets to trade for James Harden. Then James Harden didn't work out. Recuperated more than half of the assets he gave up for James Harden when he traded for Ben Simmons. Now by trading Kyrie, he's basically recuperated all the assets he gave up to get James Harden.
Well, so then my follow-up question would be
also wait, timeout. No, timeout. I gotta tell you something. I put BioFreeze on my hand and I just scratched my balls, but I touched my dick and now my dick is on fire.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm having like icy hot on my cock right now.
81. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan that Joe Tsai said he made it a mission to not trade him to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Did he actually say that?
I don't think he used the word mission, but yeah, I think they were. That was what the report was. That yeah, we're not trading him to Los Angeles.
I mean, first off, here that's a good pivot to let's react to the trade offers and let's say which ones we think were the best, right?
Terrence Mann and a first-round pick. What's the best one?
All right. So first deal that obviously this was the deal that went down, but so it was Chris Paul, Jay Crowder, and 1 first-round pick. But the Suns were told by the Nets that if the Nets were to accept that offer, they would have to make it the 3 first-round picks, Jay Crowder and Chris Paul. And basically, I'm pretty sure from what was told is they said, nah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and the reason why the Suns said nah was we rather give you 3 first-round picks for Kevin Durant. And they said, we're just going to wait till Kevin Durant becomes available and we'll re-offer you with 3 first-round picks.
Kyrie Irving is not worth 3 first-round picks and CP0.
Yeah. So, whoa, the Nets have not. We'll talk about that in a second. I did not know that. So
these guys don't like Dinwiddie.
Yes, but I saw that on Twitter. We'll talk about that in a second. The Nets wanted Russell Westbrook a first-round pick and pick swaps as well as Austin.
Goodness. You're out of your damn mind.
I would have traded Max Christie, but not Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is win now. Max Christie is really good, but like I understand Max Christie if they did the first round because supposedly they offered Russell Westbrook in the first-round picks, and the deal was still declined. They said we want Reeves, Christie, and all your second-round picks swapped.
Yeah. They're driving a hard bargain for a guy who doesn't want to be on their basketball team. So,
yeah, I honestly I thought that was
messed it up.
So then we go over here. We knew about the Suns, the Clippers. It was Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann, salary filler, which from my understanding that would have probably been like either Marcus Morris or Robert Covington, and swaps for Kyrie Irving. I think again the deal why they took The Mavs one was you got a point guard.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Clippers one's a horrible trade. I think it
Yeah.
is nice. If Dallas didn't come in and swoop and get it done, I think it would be a nice way to get these talks going. But Luke Kennard, now I have Luke Kennard and Joe Harris. Great. Like, perfect. Now I have
And
the
Seth
worst
Curry.
team. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Seth Curry. Awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, I honestly think we're in both agreement that Dallas was the best deal. You got 2 starting level role players who Dinwiddie on a good day is a borderline
Yeah.
all-star.
Dorian is in his
Dorian's
in his prime, and I think he's on the first year of his contract. He might be on the second year.
Yeah, he's got 3 years remaining. Dinwiddie has 1 more year remaining.
Yeah.
So basically, you got 2 players that they're going to have at least for another season if they keep.
Yeah. Dorian's on a very nice contract.
But we're in agreement that the best deal was the Mavericks deal.
Unfortunately.
For Wood now, like because
everything they asked from all the other teams were like, what, for Kyrie Irving for 3 months? Like, no.
Yeah, like the Lakers and the Clippers trade were both, if they were rebuilding, and traded Kevin Durant as well. I would understand that because you'd be like, okay, Terrence Mann or Austin Reeves and Max Christie are good pieces to put around Cam Thomas and Nick Claxton. You know, like those would be good.
A great piece.
That's what I'm saying. Like those would, if they were rebuilding instead of a retooling. But I think this is a good pivot right here. That I actually didn't know this. Did you know this? That they hadn't ruled out trading Spencer Dinwiddie? I didn't know that. I thought they were content with keeping him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've got a mixed bag on him. I believe the locker room issues were more Washington than Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. But
yes, I can elaborate that. Montrezl Harrell and Spencer Dinwiddie, as a Wizards fan, it was horrible. Like supposedly like really bad, like locker room guy, like to the point where like they had to trade him immediately because they were deemed cancers in the locker room in Washington.
It's crazy because Spencer Dinwiddie seems like
they had signed and traded for Spencer Dinwiddie. I think that they signed and traded for Spencer Dinwiddie and got Montrezl in the Lakers trade. I'm pretty sure, right? No, not the Lakers trade. They just signed Montrezl. But so this is what was written, and let's give a shout out to Mark Stein of the Stein line for this. The Brooklyn Nets are resitting a bit after trading Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks. Brooklyn is very familiar with one of the players they acquired, Spencer Dinwiddie, who was a Nets basketball player from 2016 to 2021. The reunion might not last that long. Brooklyn could flip Dinwiddie in another deal as the Nets try to figure out how to build the most complementary roster around Kevin Durant in the next few days. Dinwiddie cannot be aggregated with any other players to increase the amount of salary that the Nets can send in a trade. But Dinwiddie is on a $20.2 million salary for the season, and that is enough that Brooklyn can still get a player for him alone. The veterans guard's contract for next season recently became fully guaranteed at $21 million due to the Dinwiddie hitting games played markers in his contract. Now, who the fuck is at the same level of play as Spencer Dinwiddie that makes $20 million? I'm pulling up salary, but I think it's a little hard.
I think it probably more so depends on what Brooklyn is looking for. So,
do you want to hear the options?
Sure.
We're talking point guards, we assume, right? That they would trade Spencer for another point, right?
Yeah.
You could trade for Anthony Simons, Terry Rozier. Now Eric Gordon, Gary Trent, Marcus Smart, Derek White, Colin Sexton, Markelle Fultz, Tyus Jones, Derrick Rose.
Ooh, I like Tyus Jones a lot on that squad. Ooh, that could be an interesting one. I don't think it'll happen.
I think Tyus Jones is the only one, right?
Tyus Jones on a $20 million contract?
Tyus Jones is on 15, but you would assume if they did that deal, it would be Tyus Jones packaged with a guy on like $5 million. So let me pull it up.
We should
And
talk about
also,
the Ja Morant drama later.
you could actually, because Memphis actually has the third most cap space in the NBA behind only the Pacers and the Spurs. That's fucking crazy. They could do a deal where it's Larry Tyus Jones for Spencer Dinwiddie and take the $5 million, or they could do Spencer Dinwiddie, Tyus Jones and either Zaire Williams or Brandon Clark, which I would doubt they would package.
Yeah, I think Memphis definitely wants. They'd want a
So
little bit more than Dinwiddie as they should.
what about if you're Memphis and you do here, you get offered Spencer Dinwiddie and a protected first for Kelly and Tilly, Xavier Tillman, and Tyus Jones.
Ooh, I think Xavier Tillman's really good. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know, man. It's because they were so good. Tyus Jones is the best backup in the league. I don't know you're right. I don't know how you trade Dinwiddie. I don't know.
Oh, my apology. Kelly and Tilly isn't on the Grizzlies anymore. He got waived, but they just still have the cap hit for him.
Dinwiddie can't do defense. So I understand why Brooklyn wants to get rid of him, but I don't think they're going to be able to find a difference maker at the point guard position that they might be expecting. But I guess with this report, they haven't ruled out retrading him. So I don't know. We'll see.
Out of all the guys I said, though, are we in agreement that the only guy that seems like you want to trade for is Tyus Jones?
Well, Marcus Smart works for me, but
yeah, but the other,
going to be all set on that.
Marcus Smart and Derek White, and Boston's not going to do. You got to look at a guy, and the other thing you have to understand is most of the trades you're going to look at are going to be players in the Western Conference because Eastern Conference teams don't like trading with each other, you know?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I don't. Yeah, that's gonna be something interesting. Is the Dinwiddie decision, the double D.
Yeah. Ooh. So 1 second. I'm like, it's very hard to use a mouse left-handed. Jokic injury management, bro. They could do Van Vliet. That is a deal.
Whoa.
I think they could do Van Vliet. They can't get Pascal, but they could do Van Vliet in a deal.
Oh, wow.
But I think Van Vliet makes a few more million.
Man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Toronto would be open to that. That's a big boy move.
It is a big boy move.
A rival. Oh, that's interesting.
It is.
I saw they're shipping around. They're fielding calls on Siakam and OG.
I wonder if that's going to happen. So I want to pivot right here and talk about a guy who's out with an indefinite injury that CNN even reported on. That's how important this injury is. That CNN was like, we gotta report on that.
Ball.
Yeah, CNN covers ball. When it's, oh my God, you don't understand how much pain my wrist is in right now. So Steph Curry suffered. All right, so
not as much pain as him.
No. Okay, so let me explain this injury. I actually had somebody tweet me because I literally go, give me layman terms what the fuck this injury meant, because I was with Luke and I was like, dude, Shams Charania just wanted to sound cool when he tweeted this out. I'm going to read you Shams Charania's tweet because it's just freaking ridiculous. Also, new hashtag this league uncut just was released, so definitely going to listen to that after this. But here is what Shams Charania tweeted about the injury to to Steph Curry. And it's so far back down, I have to scroll past all of the trade news and talk about Curry's injury. Okay. Curry's injury, to be exact, is a lower body injury. Specifically, it is known as partial tears to his superior tibiofibular ligaments and interoosseous membrane, as well as a contusion in the lower left leg. So for me, I was like, okay, that's way too much biology. And I tweeted someone, layman terms, this for me. And basically what I was told was that this is when somebody like Curry, who suffered a shit ton of ankle injuries, had to, I guess you would say, instead of, like continuing to play the way he played, after years of shifting the burden from his ankle up to his leg, he has torn all the ligaments in the least risky part of the leg, which means this could be a really fast recovery or it could be really bad due to the fact that it's extremely rare, as you usually blow out other parts of your leg. And that was from some doctor who responded to my tweet on Twitter. Thoughts?
I'm not a doctor, but
No, but like how bad this injury is, or should we be scared?
Should we be scared? No, I mean, guys get injured all the time. Steph Curry got injured right before. Steph Curry got injured at the end of the year last year, and then came back and they won the championship. So I think he's shown me perfectly enough. I think this might be the time where they look to ship out James Wiseman, possibly. I'm not worried about this team at all, though. Like, Jordan Poole, when Steph Curry got injured last time, came out and was averaging like 30 points. Dante DiVincenzo has really showed me, especially as of late, that this man is up for the challenge. Now, you're right. If Steph Curry is out for like 6 to 8 weeks, it's very unideal.
How many games did he miss last year? 20? Or was it like 15?
Somewhere in that. The issue is they don't have, the vets that they did last year, but I really like the way Kuminga's been playing.
That's my question
Michael
next.
Green, who cares about Michael Green? Well, I care about Michael Green. He's playing nice.
So my response to all this is, do you play Ryan Rollins, or does this injury force the Warriors, like you mentioned in the beginning of your rant, that it is time to trade
Klay Thompson,
James Wiseman?
That's a question. That's the $1 million question.
Like, do you – because James Wiseman and JaMychal Green are the only two contracts that are tradable.
Well –
who else would you – yeah, but no, you wouldn't trade Klay Thompson. You need him.
Well, I don't think it's out of the cards.
I just don't think you can get anybody.
Either,
but either way, right now, trade deadline, the only two players that would be moved on, in my opinion, from the Warriors, do you agree with this, would be like a JaMychal Green, James Wiseman package.
A package? Definitely not, no.
Well, I'm saying if you package those guys, you could probably get like you get pretty close to Tyus Jones money.
Oh,
not saying
wow, how lucky me. I don't know what your issue is with JaMychal Green. The man's
I love JaMychal Green. I'm just saying that if you package those two guys, it's like $13 million. You can get a decent guy or two players for $13 million. You can go get yourself John Wall and Amir Coffey for James Wiseman.
What?
Would you do that deal,
Did
John
you
Wall?
just say that? No.
Yeah. John Wall and Amir Coffey and a first-round pick for James Wiseman.
Oh, my God. I want to jump off my building. That is the worst trade I've ever heard.
Who, for the Clippers? That's a steal for the Warriors.
Somebody clip that? That is unbelievable. Oh, my God. You know what? I have a counteroffer for you. Let's do James Wiseman for
Trey Jones and Jakob Poeltl.
I like that a lot, actually. But
that's not a bad deal. That's not a bad deal. That's like actually a deal that I would like. If I was the Warriors and the Spurs came to me, I'd be like, fuck yes.
Here's a good trade for you. A second-round pick and Daishen Nix for James Wiseman.
I got you with a better one. Bones Highland, Zeke Nnaji, and Devon Reed.
See,
James Wise.
I feel like you're not kidding.
I'm being serious right here. Yeah, Bones Highland.
Massively concerning.
Devon Reed, Zeke Nnaji for James Wiseman and JaMychal Green. Listen to this. Devon Reed, Bones Highland, and Zeke Nnaji all have additional years on their contract.
Good for them.
You get a backup center in Zeke Nnaji. You get a backup point guard in Bones Highland. And you also get a wing defender in Devon Reed. How are you telling me Devon Reed?
How are you telling me that's a real trade idea? There's no way.
That's because Bones Highland's about to be traded.
I'm all set, man. These are horrible. And I want the record to show I was very, very much kidding about the Asian Knicks. That was, that's bad. That's very bad. Golden State will be fine. I think they'll hover around slightly above 500 in the absence of Steph, and then maybe they'll make a move or two. Probably not though. And hopefully we get news on Steph Curry's specific timeline. We can go from there.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
It's today.
All right, let's pivot over here. Is Jamal Murray an all-star?
No. The West is loaded.
But is Jamal Murray
past weekend? I'll give him an all-star.
I feel like Jamal Murray's over-scrutinized.
I don't hear any talk about Jamal Murray.
I feel like he gets hated on that people don't think he's good enough. Or at least in the comments, it seems like that. Like, there's a real argument amongst people on who they should keep, Jamal Murray or Bones Highland. Which I think's stupid, yeah. I'm like, why? Jamal Murray's like a dog. I understand it if you don't like that he got his dick sucked or that he had too many pubes. Like, his beard looks like his dick.
Yeah.
But I still want to say our first merch is going to be a Jamal Murray pube sweatshirt.
He did have a lot of pubes. I know there's no way. I mean, he's not an all-star yet, but he's beginning to play like his former self. So
who's better, Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr.?
I don't think it's close. I think the answer is Jamal Murray.
Who has the higher ceiling?
I think it's
Michael Porter Jr. Right? Or has the ceiling gone down over the years?
I was gonna say I might be getting off of it.
Are you off the Michael Porter Jr. train?
Oh, because he's still a great basketball player.
He's averaging 16 on like 50, 45, and 40.
He's one of the best shooters in the league. But
it's just the defense.
Well, the defense. I mean, he's 24 now, which is perfectly fine age. But
he's 24 already.
I don't think he can get past. I mean, he almost was a 20-point per game scorer, which is fine, and that's awesome. But if he's giving me 20 and 7 like he was in his career year, that's
how many minutes
awesome.
a night does Michael Porter Jr.? Because I don't think 29. Michael Porter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Michael Porter Jr. can ever be a guy who plays more than 30 minutes a night because of the back. And that's why I think he'll always be a third option. Because
I think he always should be with his defense.
Yeah, and he's still a good rebounder. I think that's something people underrate. Michael Porter Jr. grabs like 5 boards, 6 boards a night. Like he's soft.
Yeah, and he used to do 7 a couple of years ago.
But that was because he was a power forward back then. People still don't realize Michael Porter Jr. doesn't play the same position that he did a few years ago because they got Aaron Gordon, which made Michael Porter Jr. not need to play power forward anymore. Now they play him as a massive small forward.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Are you worried about the Nuggets? Because some people say that they don't think the Nuggets are good enough. Like I think like this team's fucking amazing, but I guess there's concerns about not having a backup big guy and like their bench being like Bruce Brown and Christian Brown, and now if Bones Highland is gone, last night we saw important. We actually like started looking at his stats last night, and Christian Brown, and we looking Christian Brown's all right, but like his stats, he doesn't warrant more playing time. He just shows that he could probably be, all right. Again, also I'm biased against him.
The issue is this was the issue going into the season, but the thought process was maybe Bones Highland takes that next jump. And
they thought he was going to be the 6th man. Yeah, they thought Bones Highland would be the 6th man.
I mean, Bruce Brown is very important. That they have a great starting lineup, and I'm not too worried about the bench because it's going to be a shortened rotation, and they have a very nice big 4, pretty much. I'd even go big 5 because of KCP's underrated in this, but I do think they'll make a move. I expect them to make a move, and I've been saying all season it's a backup big. They can't protect the rim at all in any facet. They can't protect the rim, so. if they were to, I mean, they're already a really scary team. If they were to go out and I forget what trade we were talking about last week, like Naz Reid, Nerlens Noel, I'd be
For
if I
Bones
was a
Highland
West,
and
yeah, if I was a Western team, I would be worried
Well, the
about
thing is
that.
with this team, their starting lineup being Jamal Murray, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic is awesome. Then you have off the bench Bruce
Oh,
Brown,
rim
Jeff
protection.
Green. Yeah, like this team isn't bad. Like you got Bruce
Yeah.
Brown, Jeff Green, Zeke Nnaji, Christian Brown, Ish Smith, even Blacko Chanchar sometimes, and Devon Reed come in, and but like again, like those aren't. You would love to have if you could bring in. I think this team's just missing a pure sixth man like a Tyus Jones or somebody who can. What they were hoping, like you said, Bones Highland was supposed to be that sixth man this year, but supposedly he fucking hates Mike Malone and he wants a bigger role. He wants to be a starter.
Mm. I
So
don't know. I have issues with that, but we'll see what they do. They've improved vastly.
no, I agree. Now let's move over to a different team, a team that is packaging Jordan Wara, Serge Ibaka, and
Hey, what's up, Eric?
Jordan Wara for more help. And it's
And real quick, just a quick thought on that Nuggies team. Like that, I think the Sixers game is a clear indicator they got to at least try and do something. I think it was a very clear indicator because Joel Embiid embarrassed Jokic.
yeah, I mean, fuck you.
It's true.
Yeah, what's up, Eric White? Yo! I don't know why I did that, but let's talk about the fact that we did not talk about Isaac Okoro yet. We'll do that next. As we have Pelicans after the Bucks, but the Bucks. We were talking about this, and with Chris Middleton, still. Did Chris Middleton return again yet, or he still hasn't returned for the second time?
No, he's back.
He's back. Okay, that's what it was. Off the bench. Sorry, I haven't watched the Bucks this much this past week. I'll admit, like I haven't kept up just because of life, but I will say that I have been amazed by the fact that the Bucks have been solid this season with the injury they've dealt with Chris Middleton, but I do get scared that playoff time. I've said it before, their greatest strength is Giannis Antetokounmpo, but at the same time, he's their greatest weakness in the sense that he's not their weakness, but because they're so reliant on Giannis Antetokounmpo, in the playoffs, all you got to do is, oh, Giannis, you can score 60 points. We're just going to double team and, literally suffocate every other player, every other teammate of yours on the floor. So when you do need to get other people to you pass the ball, your teammates won't be able to score, and you just tell Giannis, just try to score 60, 70 every game, and that's how you beat the Bucks. You just tell them, okay, Giannis, try to do it all by yourself. We're just going to take everyone away from you. And that's why Chris Middleton's so good for them, because when teams do that, you can give it to Chris Middleton and he can go at the end of the shot clock and hit those, shot clock buzzer beaters.
Yeah. I've always wanted to tweet out, like, it's too political for me, but like nobody Bucks fan or people playing the Bucks and Donald Trump fans like build the wall. But this is the best team in the Eastern Conference.
Wow.
And
wow.
Boston it's actually, I really need Luke to come on this show again because Jason Tatum, man, watching those finals games, I'm a little worried about Tatum if they come up.
Joe Ingles has been great, though.
Against Joe Ingles has been huge for him. I think here's the thing, though. Milwaukee's only the best team if Chris Middleton is Chris Middleton. If Chris Middleton isn't Chris Middleton, they're going to have the same issues last year, like you said. But I think Drew Holiday's a freaking man. Obviously Giannis, but I think Brook Lopez clearly. I think the big secret factor for this team this year also has been Bobby Big Eye Portis as the clear sixth man, averaging a double-double off of the bench. So, I mean, it's huge for him. Grayson Allen is nice. Wesley Matthews always comes alive once he needs to as we get closer to playoff basketball. So, yeah, Ingles was great. Huge move for him. We'll see what they do at the deadline. They could really change things up here in the East. Possibly force Boston to be like, should we are we okay here, or should we do something?
I That's why I think if you can look around the Jordan Wara, George Hill, and Serge Ibaka deal. I forgot for Jay Crowder. I think that's not a bad deal. Jay Crowder would help. Or even if they turned that down, I would pivot and be like, here's either Jordan Wara straight up for Cam Reddish, or here's Serge Ibaka and George Hill, and a second round pick for Cam Reddish. I think bringing in a guy like Cam Reddish or Jay Crowder who can just launch threes. Jay Crowder's a little bit better at defense, but you think that if you bring Cam Reddish here, Giannis and the boys could get Cam to play some defense. I just think if they can I just think more scoring off the bench would help, especially with Chris Middleton having another guy like Joe Ingles who can just launch threes.
Yeah, more scoring would be huge for them. So they're a phenomenal defensive team. They could use another pick me up. I think Jay Crowder, and we always talk about this. Like, if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm sending them a trade, which I guess they did, and it's probably not enticing to Phoenix really at all. So maybe I have to throw in a second round pick. But if I'm Milwaukee, I look at a guy like Jay Crowder. I'm like, he gets us to that next level, and I also don't want him to go to another team, whether that's trade or buyout. Like, so I would make that move, which seems like they're trying to do. Didn't win.
Yeah, no, I agree. So let's talk about a team in.
Robin Lopez.
Oh,
Man, Rubio's been so nice for this Cavs team as of late, especially.
as of late, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. The start the season. I mean, not shooting wise, the numbers are horrible, but the impact that he has on the team as a player, cannot be understated.
It reminds me of Dinwiddie when Dinwiddie came back from his ACL. It was like, man, like that might be, is it at the end here? Like, no. Just give him a little bit of time.
I
Rubio's
mean, he
still knocking
sucked.
down
He
threes.
sucked on the Wizards, but yeah, when he went to the
Yeah.
Mavs, he came alive. But the Pelicans, they're starting to save their season, but they've been talking to other teams and they've been shopping a package of Jackson Hayes, Devontae Graham, and Najee Marshall for a player, and that package actually is enough salary to match OG Anunoby, and supposedly the Pelicans are trying to do everything they can to get OG Anunoby, and so the Grizzlies can't get him.
Yeah. Same thing like Jay Crowder.
Yeah, the Pelicans, dude. What was it, 9 or 10 games they lost in a row
I think it was 10 exactly.
before they broke it?
Mm.
It was bad.
Against the Lake Show.
Do you think this is a team that losing streak made a lot of people feel like they're fake, they're pretenders, not contenders?
Yeah, pretenders might be a little too aggressive, but yeah, this is a team that was 23-12. They were 18-8. This is a team that was right around the top for a very long time, and they're ahead of schedule. They're like Memphis almost last year. Like they're just ahead of schedule. This team, I think New Orleans' flaws might be a little bit downplayed because of Zion's absence. There's still a lot of flaws with this squad. They need somebody who can come in at a consistent rate and knock down threes. And OG Anunoby is somebody who can do that and who doesn't need to be, your first, second, or third option. I don't know how I feel about the rim protection as well. I think a guy like Naz Reid would also be huge for this squad. So I anticipate them to be aggressive at the deadline. I saw CJ being rumored in some trades. I don't think they're quite at that level yet, but if you can give me a ball dominant point guard who can knock down open threes to pair or to come off of the bench, and I can also pair with CJ McCollum when the time is right, and a guy like Naz Reid or just a nice bench player who can protect the rim, that might be all you need. I mean, Zion's missed a bunch of games. Brandon Ingram's missed a bunch of games. Larry Nance Jr. might be a nice trade piece. Herb Jones might be like, who knows?
Yeah, no, I agree.
But yeah,
1 second.
Zion being out, that's the thing too, is it's like, okay, yeah, they're one game above 500. They just lost 10 games, but they're without their best player. So, yeah. They have to be like, do we make these adjustments now do we not make as many adjustments because we're without Zion? So I think OG would be perfect for this team. It's going to cost you some couple of pennies.
I agree. 1 second. Oh,
so OG play the 2 or 3 with Ingram. That's the best part about OG and Anunoby is he's pretty positionless. So and I agree they need a true point guard. Like it might not be something that they're super focused on right now. It might have to be more of a bench complementary type of player. But yeah, if I'd love to get CJ off ball more if I'm New Orleans, which once Zion's back also is a big thing.
that's why I think if they do make a trade, it shouldn't be for like OG and Anunoby. I'll be trying to make a trade for like, again, I hate to bring his name up. This is the Tyus Jones let's show today. I think Tyus Jones would be perfect because like CJ McCollum, people forget he's not a true point guard. He's a shooting guard who can play point guard. So I just think, like that's a better deal than people imagine.
Yeah, it's just what is Memphis? Memphis probably views Tyus Jones as really nicely as they should.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know another point guard you could go out and get because it's just hard finding high-level point guards. Yeah, I guess. I mean, where are you going to get $28 million?
In my right pocket. Trey Murphy, by the way, dog, 30-piece barbecue sauce last night.
That guy's good.
Blowout. Sacramento was without Darren.
You know what
Bring Drew home.
Can we talk about somebody who kind of fell off this season? Not defensively, but I know injuries have screwed him over this season. But he was supposed to, I feel like, take a jump this year just all across the board. And, his numbers are basically across the board, they're down. In the sense that on offense, he's still making an impact defensively. But Herb Jones, he did not progress at all offensively. Like I thought he shot almost 34% from 3 last year. This year is at 28%. He was 48% almost from the field. This year is 43%. About 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.7 steals.
Yeah.
I was expecting more.
Yeah, this man can't make a 3 at all. He can't make a shot, really. So his defense is so good that you just kind of bite that bullet because I'm still probably not gonna. I'm okay with leaving Herb Jones open for a 3, but it's not necessarily ideal. You're right though. Herb Jones could be a guy one day they look to move on from to package to acquire a star.
I'm just
that
scared.
Would be interesting with OG if you.
Do you think Herb Jones ends up? My one thing with Herb Jones is I think he's a way better defender than Pat Williams is. But I'm scared that Pat Williams starting to show the offense, but maybe Herb Jones is like Pat Williams, where it takes him 3-4 years to finally show offensive growth.
Maybe, yeah. Pat Williams is much better, always has been much better shooter than Herb. But
yeah, Herb was a career
last year. So.
Yeah, and Herb in the playoffs averaged 10.7 points per game and 41% from 3, and then in college he shot 35% in his senior year and averaged 11 points. Again, I don't see Herb Jones being a 15-point per game guy, but low double digits,
Yeah, and he's had some flashes. Like, what game was that where he had
21 against the Nuggets?
Yeah.
21 against the Nuggets with 5 steals, and he shot, I think, 2 for 3 from 3.
2 of 4.
2 of 4 right there. So, like you said, there's flashes. Yeah. But, this year, Pat Williams finally broke the double-digit marker and is starting to show, flashes.
You want to guess Herb Jones's plus-minus last night against Sacramento?
34.
Wow, 35. Good guess.
I actually did not know that. I just assumed it was high. But here, let's play a game that – also, Eric White, that lineup of OG, Zion, Drew would be freaking insane. I've heard though, if they do the deal, they want to do it around Jonas Valanciunas because the Raptors want a center and Jonas.
I'm honestly fine with that.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think it was a bad idea either.
His role has been shrinking.
Yeah, even though he's dominant.
Yeah, he played like 18 minutes a couple nights ago or something. Went like 18, 11, and 5, or it was like
Yeah,
10.
it's ridiculous. I think Jonas Valanciunas is a top 10 center in the NBA. I think he's one of the most all-around centers who can pass, rebound at all above average or a good level. And now, guys, we play a game that we always wrap up the show with, and that is Pertol.
Does it always look like Rui Hachimura?
It looks like Rui Hachimura or like Landry Shamet.
No. No way. Not even close, dude.
You want to do Rui? Oh, I know who this is. You want to guess?
Yeah.
Oh. Didn't it look like
he's taller than 6'10"? Oh, that's got to be Thomas Bryant. That's got to be TB31.
You think so?
I think so.
No.
Damn.
Wait. Oh, I know who it is. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
I know who it is. You go. It's Northwest, so it's either Thunder, T-Wolves, Nuggets.
Is it Mike Muscala?
That's who I was going to go next. Nope.
Younger than 31. Oh, yeah. Nice. Wow, yeah, that's a tough. That's a good one.
That was good. I forgot Rudy Gobert kind of because he's French. He's got that French like hair.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was kind of thinking it was gonna be a white guy.
My dad has like very similar hair to like Rudy Gobert. Like not obviously. Like the best way to explain it, my dad has like black people hair. Like you know what I mean? Like because he's like from the Mediterranean. Like my dad has like afro hair. It's like it's incredibly curly. That's like where I get my mom has more wavy hair, like wavy curly hair. So like my hair's like an in between. But like my dad, we used to call him Ray Leon, which means King Lion. Because my dad now he has a ponytail. My dad's ponytail is like down to his back. He's like 68 with a ponytail down to here. But my dad, I have pictures of him with an afro where it's just literally out here, and yeah, my dad has like super curly hair. Like basically, like Rudy Gobert or the best is one of my friends is from Egypt, and it's like Egyptian hair because my family comes from like the Ottoman Empire, like partially.
It's a good empire.
Yeah, and how do I put it? I want to find a good picture of like a guy. Like my boy, literally, when I look at him, I was like, "You have the same exact hair as my dad." I always think about that. Let me pull this up. What's a good example? Here's a great example. Like when my dad was younger. Oh my God, this is my dad's hair. Like, dude, literally just found a person that like same exact, like literally looks like the picture of my dad. You ready? This is what my dad's hair looks like when it's long.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like my dad looks like that hair.
Nice.
Like that's why when I mean like not like
you should grow it out to that.
My hair when I grow it out doesn't turn this curly, but like that's what I mean. Like I can't like literally my father has like you know like Mediterranean North African like hair basically like very curly. Like it turns into like afro and stuff like that. Like I have like I mean I just woke up
Spice hair on the screen.
Yeah. But yeah, when you meet it's just so funny because like people will meet my dad and like just full on you meet my dad and you're just like you are not white, you know, like you are a very foreign man. Like I always joke around that my dad's King Foreign because my nickname is Little, like my rap name is Little Foreign, and I'm like my dad's name is also Aldo, like the shoe store.
I never heard of that shoe store.
You never been to Aldo?
Yeah.
Guess you don't have money. That was such a fucking asshole response.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
You got any closing arguments? Also, wrong themes music.
Well, this is gonna be the week Legoat passes.
What day is it going to be? Tomorrow or today?
When do they play the Thunder?
Is it the Thunder? How many points is he away?
I can't remember. It's between 30 and 40, I believe. I could be mistaken, but let's see. Thunder Warriors is tonight. Thunder Lakers tomorrow on TNT.
So wait, do they play tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
So it's tomorrow?
Yeah, he needs 36.
Oh, he's breaking it.
I agree. Wow.
That's fucking crazy.
The Bucks are also Thursday. And it's at home too. We'll talk some Cavs tomorrow.
Eric White, he did lock down Halliburton, but Halliburton's. I've also fully committed to the suit jacket look for like the past month.
Oh, nice. Where do you get it?
I just keep suit jackets on my chair right here, and then when I record, I just put on a suit jacket.
Where do you get suit jackets for?
I bought a few from H&M, but all my nice ones, like these Canalis, which are from like Italy. My 80-year-old uncle, like 4 years ago, died, and he was married to my aunt, who's my dad's sister. And I'm like 6'1", almost 6'2", and he was like 6'2", 6'3", and no one else in my family has like size 13, 14 feet except for me. So I just got a millionaire's entire wardrobe.
Nice.
But it's like an 80-year-old man's clothing, so it's just funny as fuck.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like a few of the jackets I need to tailor because they're either like the shoulders or like a touch, like, you know what I mean? Like everything's just a touch because he was also like probably 250. I'm like 165. Yeah. So like I'm 90 pounds lighter than him. And I was like half an inch to an inch shorter. But they gave me all his clothing. So like that's why like I have all these like nice. I have like Versace and like Giorgio Armani jackets.
Dang.
Yeah, I have like 2 Versace jackets. And I got like handmade Italian shoes and shit. Yeah, it's like fucking.
I got this at Nordstrom Rack.
Dude, Nordstrom Rack is fucking goated. All right. You think I should go to the doc for this? I probably should.
Might as well miss class. I mean, don't you have like a campus doc?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would just drive to the doc right now. I should probably do that. I should probably just get it checked out.
Yeah.
It's in my best interest.
Yeah.
All right, boys. If you guys did enjoy today's show, be a friend and tell a friend. We'll be right back tomorrow. Same time as always, 9 a.m. Eastern time, almost said Central. And if you did enjoy, be a friend and tell a friend. All right. So have a good one, guys. Hopefully my wrist is not broken. It's just a really bad sprain. But here we are.
Thanks.
All right, you got any closing thoughts?
The GOAT.
Oh, wait. Should we show them the logos or should it just be a surprise?
Well, yeah, I guess they're not done yet anyways.
So should it be a surprise or show them the...
Yeah, just wait.
All right, word. We're rebranding soon enough. Like, obviously still the NBA show, but like new logos, new look. And we have one of my boys who designs cars for BMW designing our rebrand for us. So he's actually in Sweden right now, so it's like a bit hard because he's out designing some European cars. But yeah, dude, the guy fucking legit. Like, kid's so talented.
Sweden.
Yeah, but that's it, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend if you did enjoy, and if you didn't, just forget it ever happened. Bye.
Ciao.